Hello, kids, and welcome to Storytime with Susie. Do you guys remember the story of Okonko from Umofia and how it ended so sadly? Do you remember how things fell apart when he realized that people in his village were not ready to go to war with the white man like he was? But you all know you are with story time with Susie. So we're going to change the ending. Yay! What if things did not fall apart? So we are at the town square during the meeting when three white men walk in to disperse the gathering because it is not allowed for a huge number of villagers to be gathered at the same place. Infuriated, Okonko grabs one of the men and stabs him, pushing his body to the ground. When Okonko got off the ground, he realized that there were three bodies. He felt a new courage rush over him, a reason to prove himself to his people once again as the warrior they have known him to be, and not just someone who got exiled. Throughout all this mayhem, Okonko could not help but think of his lazy father and how he probably would have easily given up if he was still alive. Okonko then gathered a few men from the village, and together they carried the dead bodies to the village entrance in an effort to warn others who might want to follow.
We shall leave them here. How dare they come tell us what to do on our land?
He added while walking hastily back to the town square.
We need to act now.
He said.
Let us go to the oracle. She will tell us what to do. Remember that she spoke about this. She told us this would come to pass.
He added a reminder of an oracle foreseeing the coming of pale-faced men on horses with metal faces many harvests ago. The elders agreed that something must be done. One of the sons of Umofia had unmasked a god and destroyed one of the shrines, all because of this pale-faced Christian god, an act which must not be left unpunished. And so they left the village center and started the walk into the dense forest of Umofia. The entire village followed Okonko and the elders into the forest to meet the oracle. She is the one that communicates with the spirits of the forest, and Ugbemifeme, the god of the forests. The oracle was called Ikema. She sat by the foot of an enormous tree. The tree was a sacred one, revered in all of the 9 villages for its healing powers. Ikema wore a long white cloth that covered her from her waist downwards. Her upper body was covered with clay and decorated with bright red beads, and on her head sat a crown of bright-colored feathers. In front of her was a clay pot which sat in something that looked like red water.
O great oracle of the forest, we come to you because your people are crying.
One of the elders said.
A great disrespect has been committed against our ancestors, and we will not let it go unpunished. Great oracle, help us. Tell us, is there any way to drive this evil out of our land for good?
Okonko jumped in front of the elder and added. After Okonko finished talking, the oracle got up, put her hand into the clay pot and brought out 3 brown eggs. She threw the eggs at the base of the tree. As she did this, one of the elders repeated a chant.
Zagidi bogidi, mankisi mutobi anawe fribi, oto tobi oto, cha omanyeba, zagidi gogidi bogidi bogidi, zagidi bogidi, cha omanyaba, cha omanyaba, cha omanyaba.
After this act, she poured some palm wine on the cracked eggs. She then put her hand back into the pot and brought out 3 kola nuts, which she chewed and spat the pulp out onto the trunk of the tree. "Speak to me, O great Ogbemifemi! Speak to me!" In an instant, Ikema fell into some sort of a trance. Her eyes became as dark as the part of the cooking pot that sits on top of the fire. And then she fell heavily onto her back. While Ikema lay there shaking uncontrollably, the skies cracked with thunder and the trees rattled. The villagers started to hold on to each other. The sounds of the chanting and drumming were getting louder and louder until it suddenly stopped. Ikema got back onto her feet, raised her left hand up high, and then pointed directly at Okonko. "You! Come!" Ikema said to Okonko. "The great Ogbemifemi has shown me what could be done. You will have to accept the task first, since there might be no chance of returning." Ikema turned to the crowd and said, "The great God says that it is too late to stop what has already been done." The people of Umuofia had been told many harvests ago that a great evil would come to the land and that it shall be the end. What the great Ogbemifemi had told Ikema was that the only way to stop the devastation of Umuofia was that Okonko had to go back in time to the moment when the first missionary was spotted in Umuofia. He had to kill him, thus making certain he could not make it back to his own people with news.
I, Okonko, will do whatever the gods ask of me to save our people. The gods of our land have guided and guarded us through many, many wars, and I know they will do it again.
Okonko was filled with anger at what was going on in his land, and the stories he had heard while in exile contributed to him making his decision. On the other hand, Okonko, as proud as he was, saw an opportunity to be the biggest hero his village ever saw, perhaps even the whole world. He thought about his son, Ikemfuna, that he had disowned due to the same missionary people. So, people, we have run out of time. But if you would like to know more about what happens when things don't fall apart, join me on my next segment. Does Okonkwo make it back in time? Does he succeed? Or does the occupation happen all over again? Do not miss it. Same time next week on Radio Akole FM. Peace out.